the 5 and the 6 don't play with it.
You ready? Yeah. Yo, what's up? This is Penny Hardaway, and you're now tuned in to Hoop Chronicles Podcast. Peace.
Today on Hoop Chronicles Podcast, if you've been liking, you've been subscribing, we appreciate it. You know you're one of the players. Today we have a very special guest. Our special guest today is
Clark Cipoletta, Allen High School.
And Coach was giving us his story, telling us where the game of basketball has taken him, and what he hopes to accomplish coming soon. So here on Hoop Chronicles Podcast, Coach, our very first question that we like to ask is, who put the ball in your hands?
That's a great question. So my dad, he really put it in my hands, but he put a baseball in my hands. Grew up a big baseball kid. He knew nothing about basketball. None of my family members did. But just grew up playing the sport. I just grew up with the goal outside, so I kind of fell in love with it, and I was better at baseball up till probably the middle school level, and just fell in love with this orange ball, and just played it as much as I could. I was obsessed with it, played it every single day, and I just kind of found my way through that.
Coach, when you first started playing the game of basketball very early, what skill set do you think you had versus everyone else? What were you good at?
So I was more of a kind of a true point guard. That's kind of, I had a chip on my shoulder. I was always a smaller guy. Just tried to just initiate for others. Tried to model my game after Steve Nash. I thought he was kind of the guy back in the day.
He was.
Knocked down open shots as well. And I had so much joy just assisting and setting up my teammates and just getting by guys. And that's kind of how I made a name for myself.
Okay, Coach, when you first started playing, are you playing like the church league, YMCA, AAU, or how is it going for you?
So when I started playing, it started in little dribblers. And then in East Texas, there's not a whole lot of opportunity like it is in DFW.
Right.
So I had to drive to Dallas to go play on some select teams. And really my parents couldn't overly do that. So really, I found myself at the park just playing against older guys all the time, and to me, that's where I really got better. Kilgore College was right down the road, and they had open runs 7 days a week, and there was 25-year-olds in there, just some grown men, and I just showed up every day, and just got to go against older guys. So
what age are you going against these older guys?
So that's probably when I was about 12.
So you walked into the community college at 12 and just waiting for it down, hoping you can get picked up.
Yeah, so you start off shooting on the side goal, and one day they got 9, and they say, hey, come pick up, and you're able to knock down some shots, or able to do some things, and the next day they pick you back up. And I had an older brother-in-law who could really hoop, and so he always made sure I got picked up at an early age, and just kind of went from there.
Okay, and Coach, what do you think made you fall in love with the game of basketball that early? To have to want to walk, or it's no parks really, like you said, it's East Texas, you just said you had a community center. I mean, not a community center, but a community college where you would go hoop at. What made you fall in love with the game?
I just like how the fast pace of it, how quick decisions are made, there's the camaraderie of being a part of a team, just the challenge of stopping somebody one-on-one, scoring on somebody one-on-one. And so I just kind of really fell in love with that. And One Mixtape was big back in the day, Hot Sauce and those guys. So I spent hours in my garage just dribbling the basketball everywhere I went. I just tried to carry that in, and I just fell in love with it.
So when you're, are you finding other young guys to hoop against, in your neighborhood? Are you finding other kids to play against, or is it just you by yourself, basically just going to the gym?
So no, I had a really close friend group, and they all lived on my street. So there was I had no brothers, and they had no brothers. So we all had sisters growing up. So we were kind of each other's brothers. There was 4 of us, and we would actually all go together, and every day after school, we'd be hooping outside at my grandparents', and then later that day, we might find ourselves at the community college. But no, it was a group of us, and I think we did that every single day from junior high till we graduated.
So junior high, are you noticing your game developing a little more, or tell me a little bit about junior high? You don't have to give me a lot.
Yeah, so I was kind of the small, scrawny kid, but my skill level was good enough to kind of exist at the level I was playing at. And I could tell after my 7th grade year, I practiced and I put in so much time, like I could see the separation really start. So I knew kind of going into my high school year, like I was going to have a competitive advantage just because I was stacking on days every day.
And just, a lot of people don't know, like, just every day, just being involved in the game adds 1% every day. I don't know if, like, the young ballers really understand 1% better every day, but it actually adds up.
It does.
And equals up to something later on.
It does. That's the difference. And like here, I tell kids all the time, like, if you truly love this thing, it will love you back. There's no cheating it. Like, you can't cheat basketball. There's no shortcuts to it. It's what you put in, you're going to get in. And really, like, when I was young, I didn't know how to work. Like, I loved it, and I was outside playing. So nowadays, like, I try to take those mistakes that I had and learning how to go full speed and learning on what really to work on. I try to give those things to our kids. So when they are working on their own, they're getting better quicker.
All right, were you doing drills? Like, were you doing any drills early on, or was it just strictly just basketball?
I was just hooping.
Okay.
I was trying to find somebody to go one-on-one with. I guess you could say it was drills, but like I had N1 mixtape videos, and I would just try to mimic those moves. So I'm not sure that counts as a drill or not.
And it was another. We come from a different era where it was like you learn how to play basketball from like basketball videos where they had the guy in the gym showing you how to do crossovers, and I forgot the name of it, but
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, though, Coach. So, 8th grade, are you guys good?
We were kind of a basketball community. Our older guys, they were like #1 in the state when I was in junior high. So I got to see like what really good basketball looked like at that level. Got to go against those guys in the summertime as well. So we had high hopes. We kind of went up and down. I had 4 coaches in 4 years.
Oh wow!
So like
in high school?
In high school.
Oh okay.
So it was interesting 4 years, but I still fell in love with it. Got to experience what good coaches look like, what tough coaches look like, and kind of what bad coaches look like at the same time.
Coach, talk about your 9th grade. You're going to Sulphur Springs High School. There's only one high school, I'm pretty sure, in Sulphur Springs at the time, right?
So actually, Sulphur was my first coaching job.
Okay.
I actually went to New London.
I'm sorry.
So that's West Rusk. It's a town, East Texas area.
East Texas.
Yeah.
Is it how many schools are in the area?
Just one. It's a small school.
You had to go there.
Yeah.
So most kids, they pick their schools based off of what the schools can provide or the coaches knowing coaches.
Yep.
You just went there simply because this the school in the neighborhood. You say you had 4 coaches every year and you never left.
Yep.
Today's time, you have a new coach every year. You're leaving by your junior year.
Yeah. I thought I always wanted to play with my friends. There was something about playing with your boys that you grew up with, and I did love West Rusk. Like West Rusk was my hometown or home school, so there was no matter who was coaching it, like I wanted to represent them. I wanted to play along my guys.
Are you getting any playing time your freshman year?
So really, like we were still really good. So I was kind of one of those flex players that would kind of practice up. No, we were still legitimately ranked in the state. So I really didn't get any run until my sophomore year.
So you just pretty much a freshman JV guy.
Yeah.
How are the freshman games going for you at this time?
Good. I actually had a career high. I was getting to do a whole lot of things. Once again, just steadily trying to develop and, was really learning how to score, learning how to lead a team. And I think those years helped me. A lot of kids still to this day, they all want to be on varsity right away.
Immediately.
And I think they're impatient about their development. And I think that's the best thing that was for me. I could have went on the varsity level and sat and not played. But being the guy, learning how to run a team, I think that really helped me. So the next years I was able to compete and able to, impact.
So what year do you say you get on varsity and get your opportunity?
Sophomore year, I got some run.
Okay.
Junior year was kind of a breakout year, and senior year, we tried to hold it down.
Can you talk about that very first high school practice?
Yeah, so it was so much faster. Guys are so strong. When I was in high school, there was kind of a stigma out there, like the weight room wasn't important. The weight room was going to mess up your shot. So
Yeah,
I was kind of scrawny, and I just remember guys were so strong. And just a year or two older, like they're physical, they're big football players. So I just remember how physical it was, and my skill level I had to learn how to operate in tinier spaces and against bigger, stronger guys, and learn how to use angles and use perception to help me get open. And it was good. It was eye-opening.
So you get a chance to get some playing time your sophomore year. You're growing. You're developing. 11th grade year. It's your time now.
Pretty much on my team at that point. And pretty much at that time, all of my best friends were on varsity at the same time. So we felt like we had the real opportunity to be able to play together and compete. And, those were the fun years.
How is it going for you? Talk about that very first varsity game you get a chance to start, Coach.
Man, that's been so long ago. I think it went good. From my stories back, I feel like it went well. Once again, it was we didn't have a ton of size. We were skilled, could shoot it, kind of played fast pace, but we really didn't have any size. So I know what I can recall back is like we got killed on the boards every game.
Right.
So we had to find unique ways how to play. And the coach we had at that time, we full court pressed, and I'm not sure that was the smartest idea with the group we had, but
right.
I wasn't questioning coach back then. We had a solid year.
Are you starting to get rankings? Are you starting to get interest letters? Are you playing AAU ball?
Yeah, so I'm getting more interest. Once again, I wasn't the most elite player ever. I won't act like I was.
Right.
I just really loved it, and that gave me a chance to continue to play. But it was more of like going to showcases, being able to play, getting recognized through that. I think that was and just kind of more local, more in the area type of
buzz.
Yeah.
Cause hey,
that's part, yeah.
Hey, it's part of it because I don't have nobody knows me from basketball either, Coach. So hey, it's all good.
Yeah.
But your senior year comes up. How are you deciding if you're gonna go to college and play basketball, or are you gonna be an academic guy?
So I knew I was going to go to college and play. That was my ultimate dream from the start of this thing. And I didn't care how I had to get there. And once again, I went to a smaller school, so not like in Allen where you're going to have 100 coaches roll through in the fall. That
right.
wasn't the school I went to. It was more, and even in that time, your mom's making VHSs of you and you're trying to send it out. So
right.
I knew I wanted to play. So after the season ended, I had some opportunities to walk on at different places, but nothing really was overly interested. So I went to a bunch of unsigned senior showcases, and that's where I got seen and was able to make my way to Laterno. So.
Do you play all 4 years or?
No, I played 2 years. Actually had a tragedy. My father passed away.
Oh, okay.
My sophomore year kind of crushed me. I dropped out of school a year. I hit rock bottom, to be honest with you. And at that time, I wasn't even going into coaching. I was going to be an architect. I wanted to make some money. So at his funeral, we had two guys, because my dad coached a bunch of different ages, and baseball was kind of his main thing, but these two guys I can remember at his funeral came up to me and told me he coached them back in the day. They were much older than me, and to this day they're coaches because of him, and he just made the game fun, and everybody loved playing under him. So that was kind of my aha moment to switch professions, and ended up going to Stephen F. Austin, and at that time picked back up where I left off, and wanted to kind of do the college route, I thought, but I picked up with the local high school, and I started subbing, and a guy named Kevin Herron, he was a high school basketball coach at Central Heights. So I just started going to practices, just asking him if I can hang around. I was like, man, I think this high school thing is what I want to do, and I just kind of took off from there.
Talk about your so you graduate college, of course. What's your very first college job? Your coaching job, I'm sorry.
So I applied everywhere. I think I took 11 interviews, just trying to, fresh guy out of high school or out of college. And I always thought I wanted to be a varsity coach right away, right? When we're out of college, we think we know everything.
Yeah,
so
we do. I'm
applying for head coaching jobs across the state. Then I'm like, okay, I didn't get any. So now I'm applying for varsity assistant jobs. I'm not getting any. I'm just young, I'm green. I really didn't have a ton of connections. I'm not overly plugged in.
Right.
Once again, I went to a small town and just love hoops. But so for Springs offered me, I applied for and interviewed for the assistant job there, varsity assistant job. Didn't get anything, and it's coming to August. I don't have anything. I'm gonna start sub out, and I was freaking out. And then the coach called me back and said, hey, I have a middle school job. Would you be interested in that? And I was like, I ain't got nothing right now, so I ended up taking it. And from there, I was at the middle school a year. Then the next year I was the JV coach for 2 years, and then they gave me the keys the year after that. So
to Sulphur Springs.
Sulphur Springs.
Sulphur Springs. So, how long do you stay there before you make your way to DFW to Allen?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah. So I was 6 years as the head coach. My first year, I was at the middle school level, kind of coaching everything. Once again, just trying to figure out what coaching was. I really thought I knew what coaching was at that point. I had no idea. And then the next year, that coach leaves, and Sulphur Springs was kind of a laughingstock of basketball. They were really bad. I think when I got there, at the middle school level, they didn't win a district game for 4 years. Like, very bad. Just kids didn't play, they didn't take pride in basketball. And then Coach Josie ended up getting the job, and he was there for 2 years. We're, once again, a really hard place to win at. Just culturally wasn't there, but he did a really good job of like elevating it. And he knew, like, I got to get out of here.
Right.
I can't be here too long. So he got the McKinney Boyd job, and the AD came to me and said, hey, you're the only coach that has stayed for multiple years. Would you take the head job? I was like, yeah, give me the keys. So, you know, I just kind of picked up where Josie left off, and we were just able to kind of turn it around. And
What was your hardest year being out there?
My God, the first year we won 9 games my first year. I inherited 8 seniors who not one of, well, I would say one of them liked basketball. The rest just did it just because. And they didn't understand the culture I was trying to bring. By the end of the year, we only ended with 1 senior. Just because we had to get rid of those guys, and I had to bring in young guys who were about what we were about. And I knew right from the get-go, like, my first couple of years isn't about winning games. It's about building a culture of working hard and what we want. And I know if we can maintain that, like, winning is going to come. And surely it did.
So, what's your most successful year at Sulphur Springs?
So, man, we had a bunch. You know, we had 2 30-win years. We lost in the regional quarters in the triple overtime game. I mean, we're loaded. I have Victor Walcourt went to OU. I mean, we're like 6'11", 6'9", 6'10". My point guard 6'6". All 4 of my, no, maybe all 5 starters went Division I. Like, we're loaded. But they were all underclassmen. I was rolling with some freshmen and sophomores, and actually sophomore and juniors. So everybody's coming back the next year. So we're like favorites to win it going into this next year. And then 3 kids move. The kid that went to OU left early, so he went. And then I had a kid named Gigi, ended up going to Waco Midway. He played at Incarnate Word. Sorry about that.
That's all good, Coach.
Let me hit that. We've been really still.
Right.
There we go. But
this is going to be really cool in the interview.
Yeah. 5 up. And then I had another kid who played at Iona. They all left. Dad got a new job, and so we went from being really good to like, all right, like, mediocre. What are we going to be? Not really mediocre, because I still had a kid that went to Tulsa, kid that went to TCU, we were still really good. But some of those guys really didn't get much of a run because those other guys kind of played over them. And we were really deep, but it was cool to see like those other guys step up, and we ended up going to state that next year without them. So that year was kind of one of the most special years I've been a part of, just because when I took over the Sulphur job, they were all in 3rd grade, and I got to work with them from 3rd grade all the way up to their senior year. So to see the fruits of that were really neat. And then this year was pretty special too. So this is probably my best year, to be honest, this year. But I won't tell my Sulphur kids that. Yeah.
So how many more years after that do you come to, do you leave right after you have a good year?
No, so the next year we were ranked 3rd in the state. So we were really good again. I had 2 or 3 kids back. One that's actually coaching with me now. He was on that next year's team, and it was between like us and Lancaster to win it. I thought we ended up seeing Mike Miles, Wade Taylor. We saw them in the regional semis, and they're like scoring like 90 a game. We hold them to 54, but we score 51. So they snuck by us that year. And now I coached 1 more year. Once again, I thought I would never leave. That was kind of my spot. But God had different plans, and I tell people all the time I wouldn't have left Sulphur for just anything, but there's a handful of jobs that if they open, like, I'm going for.
You got to go.
Allen's at the top of that list.
So,
yeah,
most definitely.
That job doesn't come open often. And
it's not.
I put my name in the hat, and the good Lord made me here.
How old were you when you got that job?
Ooh, that was 4 years ago, so 31.
31.
Yeah.
Wow. What What were some of the challenges that you faced, like coming to Allen after being at Sulphur Springs?
Yeah, just dealing with the mass size of kids. If you could kind of dribble and chew gum at the same time, like you were part of the basketball team in Sulphur Springs. But here, you have 300 kids come try out, right? So your number 1 kid to your number 15 kid on the varsity level, there's not that big of a difference. And really, maybe from your 1-2 there is, but what was hard for us to decide, like, all right, from my 4th guy to my 15th guy, like, there's like very little that separates them. And so the first year we kept 15 guys that could really play. And once again, 15 thinks he's number 4.
Right.
So that creates issues.
Right.
So I learned really quick, like your 13th, 14th, 15th, or even your 12th guy, they have to be the right type of guy. Because they got to understand what their role is, and maybe I won't play, maybe I'm developing a year. So if they think they're number 2 or 3, like it's going to be hard to really justify, and your culture is not going to be as good. So that was hard just to work out those kinks. We've done a better job of that late. Really, but the kids are the same. Like I remember the first year I got here, I had a dad. Man, how are you going to deal with better players? I said, no, we were better in Sulphur. We got to rebuild this thing right now.
Oh, yeah.
So the players have been great, like, and the kids are good wherever you're at. So all that's the same, but here you have so much more support because they want to be really good in everything. Obviously, you see the facilities and the supporting admin and the supporting principal staff, and they just you can do it on a much bigger scale.
Coach, well, how was that first year at Allen? Like, how many games do you win? Are you having playoff visions for yourself your first year? What were your goals your first year?
Yeah, so for sure we want to be in the playoffs. Like Allen, like you don't miss the playoffs.
Right, you don't miss the playoffs.
So we were actually picked not to make the playoffs. And I inherited, once again, 8 seniors. A lot of those kids did not play the previous year or weren't on varsity. They were juniors on JV. And we had one kid who was really, really good, Miles Gibson, coming back. And then we had some younger kids. Trent Payne was a freshman on that team. Kaden Myers, sophomore. So really, there was some learning curves, and trying to mesh this senior group with a good incoming young group, and that took a while to mesh. We ended up winning. I want to say we beat Summer Creek, like the number 3 ranked team in 6A, like the 5th game of the year. So I'm like, oh yeah, we're here. We've made it. Like we're
feeling good.
We're turning this thing around. And then we entered district.
And it got real.
We lost. I want to say in the first round we lost 5 of 8. So we're sitting in 6th place. And, we actually had a kid break his hand. I tell this story to my guys all the time. His name was JT Rhodes. He's the least talented kid I've ever started. He's about 5'9", can't jump over a phone book, can't shoot, really can't dribble, but he's serviceable. And when he came back, but he played so hard. Like he's one of the hardest playing dudes I've ever been around, and just played the game the right way, competitive. So we inserted him to the starting lineup. It changed everything. We won 7 of our next 8. Ended up getting the 3 seed, won a playoff game. And then we see Richardson in the second round. Richardson's number 1 in the country. Kaysen Wallace, Rylan Griffin. They beat us at the buzzer. We almost beat them. So at that point, I knew we're continuing to try to build something so special. We can build off these years and go from there.
Let's talk about this year, Coach.
Yeah.
This year, I think I seen you guys play in Arlington. I forgot who you guys playing, but it was Allen versus someone early at Arlington Baptist University.
Okay. Kimball. I think
Yeah. I got a chance to see you guys. This is my very first time seeing you guys play. And I had heard that, hey, this is going to be a team to watch out for because, I got TABC. You got all of the preseason things to go to see teams. And they was like, this is one of the best teams right here. When you're hearing that, Coach, how are you feeling about yourself? Are you believing it?
For sure we believe it. Not in a cocky way, but in we've put in the work way. The year before that, we went really deep, played Plano East. They beat us, but we had a lot returning, and we lost a lot from that team last year too, but we knew the core of guys are back, and I've had Trent and them since their freshman year. So I knew in 4 years I can get a group, hopefully, that just is overly bought into what we do, and they've been working towards that. So this is that first group to be with us for 4 years and to just buy into our vision and just to do what we do on a daily basis. And you know, when you're really good, you have two types of teams, like teams that can handle that pressure and teams that can't. This team fed off of that pressure.
Right.
Like, they never got too big-headed. They didn't drop a game they shouldn't have. They still showed up every day. And really, we didn't talk about winning state a lot. Like, we talked about it early, like, hey, here are the things we're going to have to do to give us a chance to win a state title, to win a national title. Like, here's who we have to become. But, like, every day we just talked about, like, just becoming the best version of ourselves. And if we just focus on the day, like, tomorrow's going to take care of itself. But if we start looking down the road, we're going to forget about today. And over time, you can stumble. So I think we were just bought into being the best versions of ourselves every day, playing the right way, being as tough as can be, being together as can be. And I think that gave us a chance to be really good.
I think so too, Coach. Honestly, you got, like I said, I enjoy watching you guys play this year. You guys got a chance to lead the state, go a couple places. Talk about that as well. Was it? I don't think this is not your first time leaving the state, of course, but like this your guys' first time at the Throne at that event. Just talk about how you guys got selected and getting a chance to leave good old Texas and go up north. East. I'm sorry.
So when we got into this year, I want to say at TABC, actually not even at TABC. I was telling this story the other day. Our first summer workout, we had an hour workout of skills. They went to the weight room, and I was looking for everybody. I was like, man, where did everybody go? So I'm walking out. I thought they left like as soon as weights got done. So I was kind of discouraged. Like, why did they leave so early? Like, they always stay around. So I walk outside and I see the whole team on the track. Now, I didn't tell them to go to the track. They voluntarily went to the track, and they went every day after workout on their own, and they just did self-running workouts by themselves. So I knew at that time, like, man, we have a chance to be really special. Like, this group understands what it takes, and in building our schedule, we wanted to play anybody we could, the Dynamic Preps of the world, and we didn't just want to play them, we wanted to beat them, and we felt like we could. And our kids aren't highly ranked. I didn't have a 5-star. I didn't have a 4-star. I had a bunch of really tough, really competitive guys who, in my opinion, have been under-recruited. And I think everybody wanted to show that they were more. So we tried to build that up as much as possible. Obviously had some success against Dynamic Preps and those type of teams. And, all of a sudden the nation starts noticing. And, we continue to hold that path. And, once you get invited to a national tournament, that's kind of like, I called my mom and said, Mama, we made it. So we were super excited, but I was so proud of just the kids did that. Like, it was them who showed up every single day, believed in what we do, just played the game with such grit, because that's a rarity to have a team that can go do that.
It's a little soft now.
And I'm telling you, the team I had, my gosh, like, I'd take them in the foxhole any day. They were the toughest group I've ever been around. And I hope, not only I don't want to just be good that year, like, I want it to continue, and I hope those younger groups see that. But to go play against some of the top teams in the country and then win and be really competitive against them, just kind of is proof in the pudding. Yeah, it's possible at Allen.
You guys at the Duncanville Hoop Fest, that's when you guys beat.
Who did we play? Westminster.
Yeah,
top team out of Florida.
Yeah. I recorded that. That was a good game.
Yeah, that was a good game. It ran a little funky zone in the first half, and they were long. They were huge. They were
tall too. You're right.
And then one of our guys stepped up, started making shots, kind of opened it up, and then all of a sudden, when we make shots, we could set our defense, and when we set our defense, we're pretty good. So
and like I said, you had it's not even, like you said, it's not a sleeper team. It's a good mesh, like you just got all the key components to a team that you would like to have, like a real point guard, a guy that's gonna get a bucket, Trent Payne. We know he's gonna get his. The twins, the big, like you guys had a complete team this year.
I tell them it's the perfect team. Like, if I could go create a team on 2K, like, I'm creating this team. Like, just their intangibles, their size, their measurables, like. It's everything you could ask for.
So, Coach, do you have any advice for the 9th grader that wants to come to Allen, the kid that's in 8th grade now, and he wants to come to Allen High School? He said, Coach, I want to be on varsity. What's your answer to him?
Show up every day. We were talking to the younger kids the other day. I said I need everyday guys. I don't need guys who kind of show up. And not, every day doesn't mean just showing up. Like it's trying to like give your all for everything into that every single day. Because we're gonna put in the time as staff, and we're gonna open up the gym a ton on the weekend. Like you're gonna have opportunity at this thing to be really good. But like I'm gonna be real with you. There's a lot of kids out there trying to be really good. So if you're not doing this almost every day, like it's really hard to do that. And I've had really good kids come to me, coach, and tell us like, hey, hey, I don't want to play anymore. I'm like really good. He said, I just don't love it. Like you guys love it so much. Like you pour everything into it. I just don't love it as much, and that's okay too. But we're looking for guys who absolutely love the game, just love being around each other, love playing for Allen, love getting better. We put a lot into our skill development. We preach that year round, and we try to hang our hat on that and developing guys and just trying to get them to the next level as well. But they got to show up. So I say everyday guys.
So showing up for sure. Coach, how do you feel about AAU basketball?
Yeah, I think it's perfect. I think it's a great mixture to high school basketball. I think AAU's needed just like high school's needed. And I think the perception of high school coaches and AAU coaches like not getting a lot, like I think like there's no sense in all that. Like to me, I have great relationships with all the AAU coaches around here that my kids play for, and even my kids don't, because really we're on the same team.
Yeah,
like,
we just want to get them to go to school.
Yeah, and we work well together, and I'll talk to coaches about, hey, what is this kid? What are you seeing this kid? And vice versa. They'll call me and say, hey, how does this kid respond to this? And I think you got to incorporate them as part of the team and part of the circle of that kid's life. Because when you have more people in their life in the same circle and you're just trying to move the needle for him, I think that helps versus like a split division. Right. But it's definitely needed. That's when college coaches get out. I think it's good for our kids to be coached by other guys as well. I think they get tired of me because I'm on them 24/7, so it's a good mix-up for me to get to sit back and just watch them in a different environment.
What about NILs, Coach?
It's coming. I think it's a great opportunity for kids. I have a bunch of college kids really doing well off of it. I'm not an expertise on it.
Right.
When it gets here, we'll find a way to make it work. But I think it's just where the game's going. And I think if a kid can market himself, and I think I'm all for it. I just think we need to educate kids on how to do that. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, do you feel like it should be capped, like they should have a cap, or should it be tiered, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3?
You talking about the college level or high school level?
No, just high school level with the NILs.
Yeah, so I don't even know how to, I don't have a great answer on that one. I think at the college level it should be capped because I feel like it's the wild, wild west right now. And every time I open Twitter, like 15 more people have transferred. Yeah. So, I don't know. When it gets to the high school level, I guess kind of see how it goes, and I'll have a better answer for that.
Oh, you talking about NIL for high school? I wasn't talking about high school.
Okay.
I was just talking about for college guys.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think eventually it will get to Texas. We're one of the few states that don't have it at the high school level.
We don't.
Yeah. So, but yeah, at the college level, I think there should be a cap.
I think if Texas doesn't get it, like we see now that our guys are like dispersing, going other places,
which is sad. Like our big part with us, like we're trying to prove like at a public school like Allen, like anything's possible.
Right.
Like you can go play for a national tournament. We've put, we were looking at the other day in 4 years, we put, 14 kids to college. I've coached 15 Division I, like it's possible to go play at the next level, and all those guys are having success. So you don't have to go chase this somewhere else. If you're chasing a few bucks, then like we can't offer you that. But like if you can give up the short term of that to like, hey, I'm going to get way better. I'm going to be ready for college when I get there. I think that's a good trade-off for now.
I think so. I think so too, Coach. Do you have anything special coming for the upcoming years, or is there anything that you would like to do outside of basketball?
I always wanted to coach in college. If that opportunity, and there's been several opportunities that have opened up, just none the right time or place. And like I said, like God's going to put me where He needs me, and I could be here the rest of my life and be just as happy as can be. So I'm never chasing anything. I'm always where my feet are. But at the same time, like that would be kind of cool, just the higher level,
to experience it.
Just to experience it. I think we could have success at that level, and would love the opportunity to maybe do that one day. But once again, I have a kids as well. So getting to coach them in high school would be pretty neat as well.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah.
When you say you want to coach college,
Yep.
does it have to be on the Division I level or?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
I actually think some of the best jobs are like Division II jobs because you don't have to worry about the NIL as much. Like you're getting a kid that just wants to be there to hoop. My pride's not too high on that. I've sent a lot of kids to Division II, and Division II level right now is really a lead.
It's hot. It's the D1 kickback.
It is.
My younger brother just went Division II, Palm Beach Atlantic University in Florida. Entered the portal. Now he's Division I.
Yeah, so it's just a great
It's a great tool to get to Division. I mean, like if you have that skill set, it's a lot of guys in Division II who just maybe, like you said, just didn't get seen. You had the COVID, the portal. It's a lot for you not to get seen right now.
And to navigate, and they want older guys, so I get it. So JUCOs and Division IIs have kind of been a great platform for like the Twins and some of my guys to, hey, go make a name for yourself 1 to 2 years and then go make the most out of it. So
I guess this their way of trying to like let us know we need to end it.
Yeah.
Well, that was the last question though, Coach.
Okay.
And Coach,
Yeah,
Coach Chip, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
you know, you're one of the
absolutely.
players here on Hoop
Appreciate it.
Chronicles.
Appreciate it. So,
I'll be following like I did this past season.
Yeah.
I'll be following this season. So I'm wishing you the best of luck, Coach.
Appreciate
and
that.
Hope you win it. Hope you get that chip, Coach.
yeah, going for it. Appreciate it.